Alrighty, I'm gonna share my screen and then we'll get going. There's Discord. So like I said, we're gonna go over, review NinjaTrader, the setup, and then we're mostly gonna really focus the first session this morning. We're gonna focus on like the settings and applying the strategies and the algorithms to the chart, right? But first we need to make sure that everybody understands where we're getting all of our information from, right? So we already kind of went over a very small portion of it yesterday, okay? But very first couple of things that you need to do and that we need to go over, obviously when it comes to NinjaTrader, okay, you can log into NinjaTrader with Trade-of-8 accounts, right? Trade-of-8 and NinjaTrader are owned by the same parent company. So if you have a Trade-of-8 account or anything that you can use Trade-of-8's platform for, so even if it's like you have AMP Futures, which is a live cash broker that I used to use, right? One of their platforms that they offer is Trade-of-8. So even a broker like AMP Futures, if it has Trade-of-8 as the platform, you can also log into NinjaTrader with the same credentials. Okay, as we know, everything when it comes to prop firms, right? Most of the prop firms offer Trade-of-8 as the base, broker that they offer. A majority of them will do that. Like I said, either way, you would need Trade-of-8 in order to use like QuantLink or more specifically ATS 1.4 because that's what it's compatible with, right? So once you have, what accounts you're going to log into and all that stuff, it's literally the same exact way that you would log into any account, right? When it comes to you just put in the credentials, okay? So I'm going to share the screen. So when you log into NinjaTrader, right, this is what's called the control panel. Okay, this is like where you dictate and you share, in the new box, you can click new and then you can create a new chart. You have the toolbox here, you have the workspaces, you have the connections, you have the help, and you have chat. Okay, now when it comes to importing everything, right, for everything that you're importing, you're getting everything directly from the Discord and the NinjaTrader section. Okay, so when you go here, where is it? So this is the installation documentation, right? When you open that, I guess it doesn't let me open it. I opened it wrong. You have your automatic file install here, right? So this YouTube video will take you over the auto install. This is Austin, right? This goes very in depth on what it is that you need stepwise, okay? To where you're automatically installing the documents and all of the strategies and all that stuff, right? So watch that video. That goes over everything. As you can see here, that's that same toolkit that I was showing you earlier, okay? And what I'll probably do is I'll share the entire screen here instead of just that little section, so you guys can see everything basically. There we go, right? Okay, here. So you can see that control center right here, right? Obviously, some account, you log in. This is where you have all the different options when it comes to placing anything new. This is a toolbar, right? This is the workspaces. So these are all the different layouts that you can have. Connections, this is where you can connect all your different logins. You have the help section and then the chat section, right? At the bottom, you have orders, executions, the strategies that you're running. So you can see I have two different strategies running on two different accounts. Positions, accounts. Obviously, the one I'm logged into currently is the SIM account. The log, which has all the past, basically log entries, and then your messages, right? But once you are on Discord, and I'm going to do it like this instead. I'm going to do it like this. Hold on. I'm just fixing size-wise. There we go. Trying to fit it to the screen a little bit better. There we go. So once we're on Discord, like I said, the NinjaTrader automatic file install is going to be here. Okay, these are the directions for it. The next thing that you need to do to make sure that you actually have the share screen. Whoops. The next thing that you need to do to actually have the permissions in order to use the scripts on NinjaTrader is you need to do your user-defined machine ID. Okay, the steps, like I said, are literally right here, right? This is 1 through 4. To show you what that looks like here, you go to the help right here section. Notice how it says click help. And then in third-party licensing, this window will then pop up, right? And it's not showing in the recording, but it's a window that says third-party licensing, has a vendor name, user-defined ID. In the vendor name, you type QuantView, just like that, right? And then in the user-defined ID, you go and you type in, let's say, I don't know, Jev, right? And then when you click submit, it'll give you a new user-defined ID, which you will then copy and paste and then send to this email. And they will give you the permissions to where when you go here to tools and then you go to, whoops, maybe not tools. Oh yeah, tools. Oh, I don't have a chart open actually. Let me open up a new chart just for shits and giggles. So let's say you want to open up NQ on the 1 minute. So here, when you right click the chart, you're going to have the option for indicators and strategies, right? You can go directly to strategies. The strategies will pop up in a separate window, and then you dictate which one it is that you want to use. Okay, and then to show that on here, let me make sure it's showing on the recording. Oh, I guess it doesn't want to show on the recording. I don't know why it's not showing on the recording, but for you guys here live, right? This is the list of the strategies that you would have. The one you want to use one, right? Like let's say I want to use Q Chronos Evo. I would double click it. Notice how it comes down and gets into the configured page. This is where you then adjust and change all of the settings, right? Obviously, when it comes to the settings, you would just copy them manually to whatever strategy it is that you're trading on TradingView. If you have one, for example, Evo Bear, you would just change the strategy to those specific settings. So like one example would be regular, no smoothing, expanded, trailing stop. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:35 to about 3:45. Basically, if you're running it all day, I use QGrid as a confluence. I don't have any of these blocked off. Quantity is the sizing that you want to use. Stop multiplier is 1. These are like 0.6 and 0.1. Everything else stays the same. Obviously, I'm not range boost or martingaling with the OG settings. And then this is 33, and this is 5. and I think that's it. But like I said, when it comes to the strategy itself, the settings, you just manually copy them. It's really not hard. Like, it's not going to show on the recording because for whatever reason that this window that you guys are seeing here on the page isn't being shared. But let me see. I think I can actually do this because this may be another option. Dude. Okay, that actually works. Okay, so that works. There we go. So it's just like sharing the whole screen now. Okay, perfect. So these were the settings I was talking about. Like I said, for the recording, this is where you have your strategies. Obviously, to get to this, when you open, so this is that control panel, right? When you go here and you go click new and you go to new chart, right? For example, you decide what contract you want to use. So let's say, NQ, and then you can choose everything. So days to load, I always have set to 5. Value, this just means the 1 minute, right? I don't really touch any of this. I don't really touch any of that. Everything else stays the same. I click OK, and then it will open up that chart. And then to get to the indicators and strategies, you just right click the chart itself, right? And then here you have the list of indicators. It wants to open. There we go. Here you have the different list of indicators. Obviously, you have the quant view, right? And anything that doesn't show up here in this quant view folder, if you just go down to Q, so you have the money ball here, and then you also have Q cloud, Q director. Q director is the Q line, by the way. Q grid, Q momentum, Q wave, right? And then money ball is the only one that's like off by itself. Okay, and then whichever one you click on, so let's say I want to do, where is it? This one I do Q cloud, right? Once I double click it, it gets brought down to here. So these are all the ones that are applied to the chart actively. You can then adjust the settings here or just apply them as normal, right? You click OK, you click apply. There we go. And then there you have the Q cloud, right? Same thing with the strategies. When you click the strategies, right? You have the list of strategies here. If I were to, let's say, include or put in Q grid Banksy strat, obviously these are out of the box settings. You would have to manually apply them. You click OK, okay, and then you'll see it on the chart right here, right? But when it comes to, let me delete this one. But when it comes to actually seeing any of the strategies, once you apply it to the chart, you have to go to the strategies page. Notice right here, right, Q grid Banksy, and the enable button, you need to enable it for it to then, oops, why is it not enabling? Hello? Oh. Let me try this one. Okay, now let me try enabling. No? Maybe because it doesn't have live data. 5 minute. I mean, this is 9:30, so I don't know what's going. I don't know why it's. Oh. Oh, because I'm not logged into any connection. There we go. Now when I go to click enable, it should work. See, so I wasn't logged in, that's why. There you go. So now you have the strategy here working. Obviously it's not meant for Renko bricks or anything like that. But in order to trade the strategy manually on NinjaTrader, this is what I was talking about, where it's like it'll be automated automatically, but in order to see it and use it as an indicator, you just unclick trade allowed, and then you can manually take entries. Okay. Ray asked if you have done that for the VPS for ATS, do you have to redo NinjaTrader machine ID if you want to do it on your personal account? Yeah, technically, because there are two different computers. But if you already have it set it up on your VPS, right, you might as well continue using your VPS. You don't need to use, it's easy to access the VPS. You just log into it, right? But when it comes to applying the chart, like I said, that's how you do it. If you want to adjust the settings, again, right click, you go to the strategies tab, right? It'll then go to the configure. You go to the one that you want to change. Obviously this has to be disabled first. So let me disable this. Then you go to the settings, strategy settings or strategies. You go to settings, right? And then now here you can adjust and change the settings as you should, right? You click apply, you click apply, then okay, and then you go back and you enable a strategy, and then it will pop up, right? If you want to change the data feed, okay, you can go to change the data feed here, so what the chart is, right? You right click here, okay, and then you go to instrument or interval, I'm sorry, and then where is it? Oh no, I did that wrong. Where is it? I forgot what button it was now. Oh, properties, I'm sorry. Right? Nope, not properties. Data series. Here we go. Data series, not properties. So you can, so for the MNQ, you can change it to like the Renko bricks. So what you want to do is you go here to better Renko. Let's say if I want to do 10 box, you would do 40. And then, I would always do 5 days to load. Obviously nothing else really matters. Click apply, click OK, right? And then now here you have the Renko boxes to trade the strategy manually. Remember, you enable the strategy itself, but then you pause the automated trading. And then this window here on the right to get the like one-click trading, right? It's this button right here, the chart trader. So you can have it on, hidden, or off. I always have it on because it's like a quick spot to enter. Same thing with entries. You right click, buy limit, buy stop, sell stop, and sell stop limit, right? You don't really need to use most of these. It's just buy limit, sell stop, or sell limit, buy stop, right? This is where you choose your ATM strategy, and when you do the file download, these will automatically be shown or downloaded. Obviously, Banksy 10B, this would be, the moment I click buy, it'll put a stop loss of two boxes. If I want to change that, I can. So let's say I want to select it, and then to change it, I click edit. So stop loss, it used to be 80. I put it to 120, right? Because remember, it's ticks. So for box size is 40. That's 10 boxes or 10 points per box. What's 3 boxes? 4, 8, 12, right? So 120. And then you save as template, you click OK. So then whenever you take a trade, right? So if I were to go here and go buy stop.
Order submitted.
Right? If that gets filled, then it'll automatically place my stop loss for me and my take profit, depending on the settings that I have directed in the strategy, right? Or in this ATM strategy. And then this is the account that I'm trading. Okay. And then obviously the drop down, you'll have all the accounts that you're logged into. Okay. In TradingView, we can copy a link and everything comes over on a chart. Does that exist on NinjaTrader? No, it doesn't. That's the only, again, one of the downsides to NinjaTrader is that there's no copy function to connect your settings. Because remember, for TradingView, it's a layout. For NinjaTrader, it's more specific, right, on the data that you're showing and the data that you have. It's only based off of what you have in the computer. You have to manually adjust it and change it, right? No, there's no way to copy it the way that we do with TradingView. So like I said, that's the reason why we started with TradingView, because it's much more user friendly. If you want to do NinjaTrader, it's going to, take you a couple weeks to learn it, but it's going to be worth it if you want to use some of the things or some of the stuff that comes with NinjaTrader, right? But it's not going to be as easy to learn or understand or use the way TradingView is, right? And that's just how it is. Like, we have no control over that. But again, same thing here. If you want to then remove a strategy, you go right click on the specific window, and you can go here to strategies, and then you click remove right here. Or if you go into the actual strategies tab, so all of the strategies that you have running, they'll be listed out here, right? These two strategies, once I enable them, obviously I can't right now because I'm not logged into, you'll see all your different connections here. I'm not logged into the cash accounts or any of the platform accounts, right? Once I enable them, you don't have to have this chart open in order for the strategy to be trading, okay? But you can also directly adjust. So if I went here, you can also directly adjust the edit strategy, synchronize all strategies, enable, remove, copy strategy. So if you want, you can go like this. You can copy the strategy, right? And then you can paste it. And then when you edit it, you can then also apply it to a different account. So I could do demo here, right? Click OK. And now I have one strategy here for the demo account, one for the sim. So let's say if you have 10 Apex accounts that you want to automate, right? You only have to set up the algorithm one time if you're going to use the same ones on all of them, right? And then you click it, and then you copy and save it, and then it's there, right? And you can just save it and apply it to all the 10 accounts that you have. So the same strategy will trade all the 10 accounts. What if you build a template? Can the template be shared? I mean, technically yes, but you would still have to connect your account and all that stuff and do the sizing. But we're not going to do that because we're not going to make a template for every single different set of settings that's people are going to have or come out with. Because once we do it for one, then everybody's going to want, can you do a template for this too and this too? We're not going to do that, right? We give you guys all the information that you need in order to use it properly. It's up to you guys to then apply it, right? And it's not because we don't want to. Part of the reason I won't be doing it. It's going to be something that Austin's going to do, or Anthony. It's just going to be too much work outside of what QuantView and other things that we need to be doing, right? Where a simple answer would just be, you guys learn how to do it. Which again, I've been using NinjaTrader for a week, maybe a week and a half, and I already know all of this. And this is all you really need to know in order to actually apply and use the strategies, right? So the information is there. If you guys really want to use it, you're more than welcome to. Again, we share the files. We tell you guys how to download it. There's even like the setup guides and all that, the same way there is for TradingView on YouTube, if you guys want to look at that as well. But this is just like a in-depth, like quick guide of like the specific things that you need, right? And then obviously to get back to here, if you want to remove a strategy, you click remove here, right? And that's it. And then if I have, let's say 10, Apex accounts, right? I wanted to copy and do the same exact strategy that I'm doing on these, right? I go here, again, same thing. You copy strategy, and then when you paste it, you can just then change the account that it's applying to. And at that point, NinjaTrader will take on the executions for all of those strategies, you'll see all of the position or all of the results here, the active positions, executions, orders, and then the logbook, right? But that's pretty like straightforward. Again, if you need to change anything here, you can always change to the minute, the second, right? If you need to change the contract, you can change the contract here. I have these two pinned, so the active contract for micro NQ, and then the active contract for NQ. In order to pin, there's like a little button on the right. So see this pin button. If I were to pin it, it then pops and pins to the top. I can unpin it, right? Or you can just go here, and if you want to do a specific one, right, you just go to the drop downs, and it'll give you all the different ones that you need. So indexes for futures, for forex, right? And then you can also manually type it out. So if I want to do MGC, right, it'll give me micro gold futures. I click on that, and then now it'll give me the prices for micro gold futures, right? And if I want to switch back, I just go to MNQ, same thing, right? This is for your drawing tool right here. This button right here, this is to zoom in and zoom out. If you want to be able, because if you notice, zoom out. Whoops, you're not going to do that. Zoom out. There you go. If you notice, like I'm trying to click and drag it, but like notice how it's like stayed to scale. If you want to make it do this, you just have to hold down Control, right? This button will take live price to where the scale is, and then this button, so if like, let's say the last time you loaded into Trader, I don't know, price was over here, right? This F button at the beginning is like the restore or fix to scale. So you click it, and then it'll bring everything to where active price is, and then you just click the right button and it'll bring you to live price. Okay. Instrument you can't really change here because this is what the chart's on. You can change that here. For the account, this is the account you can select. So all the accounts that you're currently logged into, right? So when you go to connections, when you currently log in, right? Obviously you have live connections, NinjaTrader, playback, simulate data feed, simulation. Most of anything prop firm is going to be simulation. You would go here to click configure, right? Obviously these are all my other logins right here. But let's say these are all the other brokers, right? Obviously the other ones that really work, technically speaking, are Tradeovate if you're going to do prop firms. But you log in, let's say you go here in NinjaTrader, you log in, right? And then you click OK. You dictate that it's a simulation or a live account. You click OK, and then it'll show up here to where then you can say, okay, I want to trade this one. And then you have it set up there. Here, it's going to be in this list. No, I'm only logged into 2, so you only have the 2 here. And then whenever you execute trades, whether it's the manual or if you go to strategies and you enable the strategy itself, then that's what it'll show, right? It'll show the strategy trading and it'll execute. Same thing, right click if you want to get rid of the indicators, right? Again, same thing, the ones that you have here. These are all the ones that you can add, right? That come with NinjaTrader automatically, or the ones that you guys install from the file doc. But then if you go here, if you want a clean page, you can click remove, click apply, and click OK. And then the Q Cloud is no longer there. Okay. So any questions about what I just went over? Remember, in order to use all of the indicators and strategies, you have to go the machine ID route, right? If you're having issues downloading and importing the instant file doc, these are the steps to fix it. Again, in NinjaTrader, right? These are the steps to fix it right here, okay? If you get a OneDrive error, this is a forum for NinjaTrader on how to fix it, okay? You just watch the video and it gives you the steps on how to fix it, right? In order to run certain strategies, right? Obviously, if you aren't running any of these strategies like QGrid or QCronos Evo, notice how I saw on this list is because it's a standalone strategy. You don't need any, right? None standalone, none standalone. Those are the ones that you don't need anything for. So for example, in order to use QBanks the indicator, you also have to use, or it's standalone now, but before you would need QCloud as an indicator downloaded to the strategy because that's what it references. Now, obviously, that's not the case. But for QStep MA indicator, you need QGrid in order to use the automated version of this, right? But again, the automatic file install will automatically install everything that you need in order to use, whether it's like the indicators or the strategies or anything like that. Okay. In the workplace, like I said, these are just the layouts. So whenever you have something set up and you're like, okay, I like this setup, when you exit, right, it's going to give you the option, do you want to save workspace? You click yes. So the next time that you log into TradingView, it'll open up exactly like how you last saved it, right? Another thing in the tools right here, right? This is where you import other files manually or updates. So if there's a new version of an algorithm or whatever, you get the document or the file directly from us. You download it to your computer, and then you go here. You go to the import, and then you click Ninja Script add-on. And when you click that, it'll just pop up your documents that you had downloaded, and then you just click that one and you open it, and then it will save as an option or save into NinjaTrader. You just have to close it for it to close NinjaTrader as a whole to save, and then you just log back in. Okay. And then in new, like I said, this is how you would then open up a new chart. You just go new chart, and then it'll give you the option to choose the instrument. And then once you choose the instrument, let's say gold, right? You can choose what you want to do. You want to do the minute, the day of the week. You can do the minute and then dictate what minute. You want to start with the 15 minute if you want. You'll click OK. And then you have a new chart here for that. Oh, this is the wrong. Oops. No, this is the wrong. This isn't even active. 1024. Oh no, it is active. Maybe I don't have live tick data for this. Oh, it's old. It's gold. It's oil, not gold. Remove oil and gold. Hello. Okay, now maybe I don't have the data for gold. Maybe I only have it for futures. That might be it. Because I'm connected, but I just want to use it as an example. So I just open up a new futures, another NQ chart, for example. You click OK. There we go, right here, right? And then you can change it to minute, second. If you want to change the data, so whether you want it to be a Renko brick or a candlestick, you can change that here, right? So Better Renko is something that you have to download onto NinjaTrader, okay? And the way to download that is you go to the NinjaTrader scripts. So I think it's here. Yep, you go to help, you go to apps and add-ons, and then it'll take you to the NinjaTrader website to where you can then go to the search bar, and let's say you go Better Renko, you click search. Oh, Renklo. Oh. I mean, I knew it was here. Cause I forgot how. Oh, wicked Renko NinjaTrader. I think this was it, or it might have just been. I think it's just better Renko actually. I just don't know. Remember how specific the spelling or the if it has to be like perfectly exact. What the hell? Okay, well I can't find it for whatever reason, but that's how you would search it up. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. I know it is. I just forgot exactly how to do it. But that's how you would add anything else that's like an add-on. Maybe it's in resources? No. It's not here. But this is like the help guide for setup and troubleshooting and all that. Can we run multiple instances of NinjaTrader, one on each VPS if we have multiple VPS servers? Well, technically no, because you'd need a different machine ID for each. But I don't know why you wouldn't need to run a different instance of NinjaTrader on each VPS. You just need one VPS to run all your instances of NinjaTrader. Because remember, you log into NinjaTrader and you can log into multiple different accounts. So even if they're different brokers, as long as the login is there, right? I can do my Tradeovate cache, I could do my other Tradeovate cache, I could do my Apex, I could do my Tradeify, and log into all of them on one NinjaTrader instance. Like you don't need, there's no point to have them separate on each different instance. You're just like adding steps at that point. Yeah, it just doesn't like it. It's just you're just adding steps. It doesn't make sense. You probably can't anyways because you would need a different machine ID for each VPS, and we only give you guys one because all you need is one. It's just which computer you're going to be using it for, you know. But let me minimize these. But that's basically a little bit more in depth. I can show you guys the settings for my Q Chronos Evo if you guys want to copy and paste, or not copy and paste, but screenshot, right? So this is page 1, right? It's basically just the out of the box settings. So I have 9:35 to 3:45 nonstop. I have don't force close for obviously Monday through Friday. The candle type, regular candles, no Heikinashi, expanded with the trailing. Use QGrid as confluence, both obviously. Obviously I have my default, I'm using 2 micros right now because it's been doing really, really well. So I started to size up a little bit. Ticks 0, hard stop 6. Obviously the adaptive stop I'm not using because anytime you have something, notice how there's like an empty box around it. That's like the check box if you want to enable it. So even though there's a 1 here, it's not being applied because I don't have it checked, right? Trail stop engagement multiplier and offset multiplier 0.6 and 0.1. Okay, you can take a screenshot of that if you want. Make it a little bit bigger, right? Static profit settings, like none of this is being used, or static take profit multiplier is 1. Neither of these are being used, so it doesn't really matter because remember the checkbox is not there. Absolute quantity for tiered exits, tier exit engagement multiplier, all that set to 1. Obviously, again, not using that because I don't have tiered exits. Go down a little bit more or towards the bottom. Boost settings, obviously I don't have any of that on. Martingale, I do have it on to be enabled, and I'm maxing it out at 4, so it's only going 2 or 4. For the settings, these all you can get directly from TradingView. The only thing you're changing is the smooth period right here under Atherin's, and then the smooth period here under Atherin's for the second one. Right, out of the box, it's just slightly different, so you just change that to 33 and 5. Okay. Adaptive trailing stop loss, 1 checkbox. Nothing else changes. Nothing else changes. For the daily profit, so obviously I'm doing $100 per micro contract. I don't have a daily loss limit because obviously you see the box isn't clicked. This tells me what the algorithm price is based off of. I'm using MMQ on the 30-second, 5 days to load, on bar close, which strategy I'm running, Q Kronos Evo, standard, 1 entries per direction, 1 entry, exit on session close, obviously, and then everything else stays the same. All that is everything else is basically out of the box. So if I didn't talk about it, you don't touch it. You click OK, and then obviously I don't have my account logged in, but once I log in, then it'll connect to the dedicated account. All right. And those are my settings for Q Kronos Evo, for the cash account that I've been trading it on. All right. But that pretty much goes over everything setup wise, and a little bit more in depth on NinjaTrade. Does anybody have any questions about anything? No, I will review this first. Okay. Yeah, not too many people here today live, so there might not be that many questions, but either way, when people are watching the recording, they could always send questions inside of the Discord. But if we don't have any more questions, like I said, then I guess I did a pretty good or okay job of setting it up. None for you, Dan? Okay, Yo-Yo, any questions for you? Awesome. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So obviously we have our second session today. So what time do you guys want to start that at? We can start at 10:15 if you want. A little bit of a break, but I don't want to be too big of a break. I guess 10 would make the most sense. 10 is good? Okay. You guys, Ray and Yo-Yo, you guys are good with 10? Awesome. Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll reconvene back at 10 then. It'll give me a little bit chance to make some coffee also. But we'll reconvene at 10. Remember, we're doing prop firm scaling. Okay, so we're gonna go over. I'm gonna explain to you exactly how I go over with prop firms and the different ways that you can use it, more specifically with Apex. And yeah, one thing, big news may be coming to Apex very, very soon. Okay, like very, very big, good news. I can't really say too much about it, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that you guys will probably see something from Apex happen in the near future. And I know about it, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to be pretty game changer in my opinion. But like I said, we'll reconvene at 10. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and then we'll come back at 10 here, and then we'll we'll start the second session. Okay. Nice teaser. Give us a crumb. Okay. It's one thing that they're currently missing that other prop firms offer. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay. And people have been talking about it for a while. Like it's something that people have been asking about or asking for from Apex. That you see other futures platforms offer that they don't offer.
You think you have an idea? We shall see. Yep. No problem, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next 12, 15 minutes, okay?